Good morning. It is 9:24 a.m. on Saturday, April 28th, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I went to see Avengers Infinity War yesterday, and so I'm going to do my best to give a spoiler-free review of the movie. What I'll say is up front that it's actually kind of hard to talk about the story very much without giving any spoilers. I'm going to try to avoid plot-based spoilers as much as possible, but obviously, to some extent, you either know if you're going to see it or not, right? And I think you should. I think if you are at all invested in any of the Marvel movies, then, well, yeah, of course you should. I was not disappointed. It is a big deal, the stuff that happens in it. I think that the movie it has a ton of moving pieces. And I think it does a really good job navigating all of those pieces in a way that feels, we're following up on several different threads and we jump between different settings and different sets of characters in ways that I think is comprehensible and still feels all like part of the same story. And I think in a lot of ways what's part of what's interesting about this one is that it's a movie that really does kind of like it can only really exist in this form because there have been all of those other movies, right? This movie does not have to do the work of establishing characters because that's already been taken care of in the other movies. And so this movie can essentially just take the foundational work of all of those other movies and just run with it. And it's able to tell a story that way that it would be impossible to tell if it had to set all of that stuff up on its own. And I think that makes it interesting from a cinematic perspective in addition to whatever qualities it has as entertainment. As far as entertainment, I think I liked it a lot. It has stuff to do for pretty much any character you have any interest in. The villain is very good. You spend actually, I think, more time with him than you might be expecting. And that you don't feel like it's too much, or at least I didn't. It's like I said, it's difficult to talk about too much of the story without giving any spoilers. But if you know at least what has been shown in the trailers, you basically have big purple guy wants 6 infinity gems for his, evil plan. And the Avengers want to stop him. And that's really, the reason it works even with so many different characters and all of that is because the plot is simple. It's straightforward. Everybody is trying to, he's trying to do his plan and everybody else is trying to stop him. And so there's different ways that people go about doing it. I liked it a lot, but other than, part of what the struggle is here is the movie is very good at producing reactions to things that you can't really describe in detail without venturing into that spoiler territory again. But what I will say, I guess, it feels very strange trying to keep talking about it in this abstract way, but I know people don't want spoilers, and I think that if, even though I personally feel, generally speaking, I personally feel like people make too big a deal about spoilers. However, I know that I am not the arbiter of that sort of thing, and a lot of people do take spoilers more seriously, and I don't want to, even though I feel like spoilers don't ruin a story, if anyone else ever felt like spoilers ruin a story, I don't want to be the one that did that to someone. Yeah, so that's why I'm, trying to avoid too much detail, except to say I like the movie. It's a big deal to the Marvel Universe, so if you have any interest in that at all, you should see it. Um, and I will, I guess, follow up too by saying I don't think you have to have seen all of them in order to follow it. Obviously, you'll be missing out on a lot of stuff if you haven't seen all of them. But the movie tells you the things that you actually have to know for this one. And so, like, even if you haven't seen all of them, there's going to be plenty of times where you say, hey, those two characters walked into a room and were awkward when they said hi to each other. Why was that? Well, you might not know. If you have seen the movies, you know why it would be awkward for those two people to say hi to each other. But that doesn't stop the point of the scene being these people are coming together to try to stop the purple guy from his plan, right? I mean, so you can follow the story even if you are missing a lot of the context. So I would say if someone hasn't seen all of them, it's fine. You can still see this one. That said, this movie is designed as the culmination of, it's like this big buildup where like all of these 18 other movies have built to this point, and it's a movie that can really only exist in that context. And so to an extent, if you haven't seen the others, why would you see this one? I mean, I guess you could, but I just, at the same time, what I'm really saying is you should watch all the others. Anyway, I'll leave it there, I guess, and I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes where I'll be continuing my rewatch of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. So, there you have it.